So we're going to try this again. See if it works this time. Hopefully it will. Looks like I'm having some technical difficulties. Oh, there we go. So let me know when you're here. Give me a little thumbs up. Give me some love. Give me some heart. Throw me your name so that I know that you are here. Because right now my system's showing that there's nobody here. Things don't look like they're working properly tonight. Give me just a second here. Shay, can you hear me okay? Okay, looks like they're starting to show up now. All right. For some reason, nothing was showing up. And I went live and I waited about 2 minutes and then I noticed nobody was coming on. So I thought I would stop it and restart again. So hopefully that's fixed up whatever the issues were. Hello, everyone. Hello, Shay, Michelle, Valerie, Janet, Natasha, Catherine. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for coming to hang out with me for a little while today. I appreciate it. So I'm just going to chat for a couple minutes here and just see if we get some more individuals jumping on. For those of you that are new and maybe have not been on my lives before, I know I see Marie asking for a card. I don't do cards. Well, I used to do cards, but this is not what I do in this format. For those of you that are new, I go live once a month. And what I do is as I see your names come up, the guides direct me to certain names. And as those names kind of stand out, because I see your names as they come up, I make note of it. So the guides direct me to certain individuals, and I will have my little pad and paper here. I will make a list. I write your name. And then you will have the opportunity to ask a question. So from that would be a question of my guides. They'll talk about anything you want to know about, relationship, kids, career, questions like that, what I call your normal type of psychic questions. And I can also connect with people and animals on the other side. So I do both. Okay. So just welcome to everyone new who's kind of jumping in right now, as I'm writing down some names. And just to let you know, if you guys start posting a whole bunch of stuff in the comments saying, hey, let me talk to this person, oh, hey, can I do that? I'll probably wind up bypassing you because I can't kind of catch up with things. Like I said, Spirit drives the show. They're driving the bus, right? Okay, so don't mind me. I'm just making some notes here. Sherry Gogan, let me know if I pronounced your name appropriately. Sherry, let me know if you're here. You're the first person that Spirit is actually directing me to. So again, if there's someone you want to connect with, please don't say, oh, whoever's there. Not that I can't get that. But in this format, I try and get to as many people as I can. So the more specific, again, the more specific the question you ask or the connection you're looking for, then I can key into it fairly quickly. Okay. Bear with me here, just making some notes on names. And I do ask too that we just kind of stick it to one question or one connection. If the guides choose to provide you with a little bit more, then I trust them. I go with that. But this is myself giving back, right? Obviously, I won't be able to get to everybody, but if you're also looking for a private session, this is what I do full time. This is what I love to do. So you can always reach out. You can send me a message after, and I'll be more than happy to book a one-on-one session too. So again, Sherry Gogan. Sherry's right in there. Okay. So Sherry's looking to connect with your aunt. Give me just a second here. So your aunt feels like she would have had quite a sense of humor. It makes me feel like someone who would kind of march to their own drum. She wasn't necessarily a follower. She'd be more doing things that she wanted to do, not because somebody told her. It makes me feel like there was illness with her as well. And bear with me because things sometimes go a little slow. Sharing, going to stick with your aunt right now. Yeah, I feel like she was sick for a time, and it makes me feel like she had breathing issues prior to passing, right? For some reason, Mom was getting stuff in the head too, so I don't know if she was suffering or having issues with headaches as well. Okay, so see, yes, dementia. Yeah, she would have been a Spitfire, definitely a firecracker, right? So when you talk about having a dementia too, I think she could really flip from the emotional perspective too, if that makes sense. She feels like she's been passed for a little bit of time here too. So is that on your mom's side, as far as the aunt goes? And Sherry, was there something you wanted to know from your aunt? I mean, I feel like she was ill for a time. Like I said, they do show me the breathing stop. That always represents the fact that the soul was ready to go. So a sense of awareness, I'm tired. So there was no issues as far as that goes, right? So I see when you said your dad's sister, right? And when I get it, just, I mean, I guess that'd be normal anyway, but it being very frustrating. And what the guides have always said to me is dementia, Alzheimer's, those types of diseases, they are like having one foot on this side and one foot on the other. So it can be very frustrating for the individual to go through that. And they said this is why they kind of jump in the emotions sometimes too. How they can be fine, but they can be very angry sometimes as well. She feels like she was very sweet, but again, I get that I wouldn't want to cross her because that sense of stubbornness. She could stand up for herself. She didn't have, any problem speaking for herself. Yeah, and you know what? When you're talking about it taking her quick, there's the ramp, then the quick downturn. She was not one who wanted to be on display anyway, is the way she's putting it. So I don't get any issues with her transition. It makes me feel like there was another female connection that would have been there to greet her. So this would be a sister or like sister energy as well. And yeah, I see she was really stubborn. I kind of get that from her. And I say that, and then she says it runs in the family. She comes by it honestly. So you're a little bit stubborn at times too, Sherry. Yeah. So I don't get, excuse me, I don't get what I call an epiphany message, anything like coming out of the blue. It's just more, thanks for checking in. She's fine. She was ready to go, right? Because she says it was no way to live, right? You understand that? No craziness. She liked to converse. She was a chatter. That's the word that I want. She kind of had a finger on the pulse. She knew what was going on. She didn't miss a beat. Yeah. So she's just sending lots of love through the lines. Give me a second here. She's telling me that you're a bit of a procrastinator at times. So it makes me feel like there's something that you need to be stepping into and doing, and you're just holding yourself back. You're getting in your head too much. So you're a thinker as well. Yeah. Well, she shows me like sitting at the table, and I wouldn't be surprised if she liked cards or something as well. But it's like sitting at the table, having coffee, having tea, and just, hey, did you hear about so and so? Like she'd like to. I guess she can use the term gossip in some ways, but not gossip from a malicious or a bad perspective, right? So yeah, Sherry, she's kind of coming forward and she's going, it's like, get on with it, right? She's very straightforward. She doesn't beat around the bush, right? So she's really trying to encourage you. And I kind of chuckle. I say encouragement, but she's also showing me like she'd be giving you a kick in the ass, trying to get you motivated, moving. So stop it. She just goes, stop it. She's funny. She's definitely funny. So whatever you're worried about, whatever you're holding off on, get out of your head, put one foot forward, and just start moving into it. Okay. Did I help a little bit, my dear? Hopefully. And hello to everyone that I may not have said hello to. I try and kind of stay in the zone while I'm reading for someone. So I'll kind of scan to the side. And I'd love to greet you all, but I won't be able to keep up with all you guys. Hey, Colleen. And again, for those of you that may be popping on new, never been here, I do ask, please don't start posting a whole bunch. Hey, I want to talk to this person or that person in the comments, because to be honest, I'll probably just go right by it. As I see the names, as I say hello, whatever these are, love, that's a trigger. The guides trigger me into, they trigger me into individuals' names, and then they're the ones that go, hey, this person needs it. So it's they know who needs it the most, right? Julie Carson. How you doing, hon? Julie, your father's on the other side, is he? Because I was all of a sudden, when I saw your name, I all of a sudden got a really strong father energy. Janet, nice to see you, Janet. And thanks for coming back. Like I said, this is my way of giving back, and I enjoy it. Hello, Haley. Oh, I feel so special now. Yeah, so Julie, I want to go with you, because all of a sudden, as soon as I saw your name, it was like just zoomed right in, right? This would not have been your father's cup of tea, right? This type of work, if you will. I get not anti against it, but it's kind of like, yeah, it's not my thing, right? Dad feels like he was sick for a bit of a time too, but then they show me a quick downturn. It almost makes him feel like he would have come up a little bit and then downturn. So was there a cancer connection with him, Julie? I'm just waiting for a response. Sometimes there's a bit of a delay in my program here. Hopefully nothing's froze. It seems to be a little slow here for a minute. Just gotta love technology and hate it at the same time. Okay, so I see that. Because when I was keying into him, Julie, I was getting a cancer connection with him. And the heart attack may have been something that was not expected. What I get is family was really, really important to him, his family. So to have his family sit at his bedside and kind of watch him, if you will, die, he didn't want that. So it doesn't surprise me that he made the decision to leave so quickly. So there was not, that's a word that I want. There wasn't really people around so much when he passed, because it makes me feel like visitation being there and then kind of stepping out. Does that make sense? Hey, Candy. Good to see you, girl. Because it almost makes me feel like, he's looking around to see who's around to find the most opportune moment to transition, so that there wasn't everyone sitting there watching that. Do you understand what I mean, Julie? Yeah, things are slow. And hello to anyone that I may not have greeted when you came in. Okay. Yeah, because I just get this sense of, he didn't like fanfare. Like he really, well, it's kind of funny when we talk about being in a ball game. He left in the style and fashion that he was prepared to go with. And it just really made me feel that there wasn't a lot of, family around him at the time. So for him to accept that illness and have to move through that process, like I said, he didn't want to put that on his family. And as I'm connecting with him too, I mean, what I hear is you have enough on your plate is what I hear, right? Is there something you want to know from your dad? I mean, I get a real connection to mom. And I think mom is maybe still struggling with his transition. I mean, not that struggle when someone's passed. But he seems to have concern around here. So I'm not sure if there's something going on with her right now or not, but he seems to show concern. Okay. He shows me you being tired too. And what I hear is, don't be like me. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Right. And I'm seeing her. Yes, she is. Things like that. And I know, you're aware of what it is I'm talking about. When I do kind of the public group, sometimes I keep things at a certain level. And that's just because some things are private. Right. And I don't always kind of bring everything up in a, public setting. Okay. But Julie, I want to give you the opportunity if there's anything specific you wanted to add from your father or ask from your father. Hey, Natasha. I see your comments, Tracy. I've got a few people on my list at the present, so hang in there. If Spirit directs me, I'll be right on it, okay? So yeah, I'm just waiting to see if Julie wanted to ask a specific question. You know what I hear, Julie? You're asking about does he forgive you? The first thing I hear is, it's almost like a grin in some cases. He goes, she was always her own person, right? And how do we put this? I think sometimes parents have the best of intentions, but it doesn't always mean that it's right for us. Okay. So when you're talking about forgiveness, I mean, the essence of the soul is forgiveness, and we don't carry all that stuff with us when we go on the other side. When you talk of forgiveness, what I get is you need to more forgive yourself than anything else. Do you understand what I mean by that? Because I get more, that's an emotion that you're still holding on to. They show me, if you will, more of a deep wound that has not had the opportunity to heal yet. So it's more important for you to forgive yourself. Because he keeps going, you did what you needed to do. You're there, you're protecting yourself, you're protecting your family. So he has no issues. No issues there at all. Right? I kind of get the feeling, what he's telling me is I wish that we could have had more discussions, more communication. But I think that was kind of on both sides, if that makes sense, if you understand what I mean. Right? And again, what I just heard was he goes, there's nothing to forgive. And then he says, we're both stubborn personalities. So he's talking about stubbornness. Yeah. I mean, you knew he loved you. I don't think he was always the best at speaking that. I think he would do it more from his actions. But he just wants you to be okay. Because I don't think he recognizes the stresses and strains that you were truly under at the end of the day. And now that he's on the other side, he has a much clearer understanding of that. You understand that, Julie? And I love how you said one last hug. Yeah. Hopefully this is helping a little bit for you, hon. Awesome. Yeah. And Julie, you know where to find me if I can be of assistance in any way. Okay. And he's just sending lots of love through the line. So just keep an eye on Mom, okay? I'm going to kind of leave you with that right now. Is there a is it Josanne Hewitt? Josiane Hewitt. Hey, Nancy. For those of you on my Facebook page, just letting you know too, I've teamed up with another psychic medium, spiritual coach, and Science of Mind practitioner, the stuff I've been studying as well. And we've created a new Facebook page, and we're actually going to be doing a podcast, and it's called I Am Divine. So if you're not on my Facebook page, you can always take a look there. I have a link to it. If you're interested, if you want to work on developing your own skill sets and learn more about universal truths, universal laws, creative process, things like that, all you need to do is, jump on there. It's a private group. You can join on that side. We have special events that we do over there as well. Meditations. We tag team and do a live reading as well. Ask Me Anything. There'll be the podcast and other things coming down the line as well, right? So I was just waiting to see if Josanne Hewitt is still here. She may not be here. Jaleesa, Caitlin, let me know if you're here too. Oh, thanks, Colleen. I appreciate that. Let me look at some names. I know, Tracy, you were talking about getting on the list. It's the guides that direct me. Okay, so it's not a list as far as whoever's name I see, I start writing it down. As I see the names come up on the side, the guides direct me all of a sudden to somebody's name. And that's when I write it down on my little list here, because they're the ones that the guides are telling me are the ones that need the sessions. Okay, so I never know. I never know where it's going to go. Right? So I had 2 names. I'm just waiting to see if anyone's going to comment if they're still here, because we do know we get what we call pop-ins. They kind of jump in and then jump out. Right? Hi, Lynn. Good to see ya. And Shelly. Shelly, haven't seen you in forever either, girl. We all need to be patient. You got that. I think that's a skill set we can all learn. Some days I think is definitely better than other days, for sure. Yeah, Catherine, I think that was for someone else though. It was someone I was reading for, and she asked to connect with her aunt. I don't know if you can say aunt. So that was a specific to. Oh, wait, scribbled out the name already. How bad am I? Yeah, it was specific. The only one that kind of jumped in is when I saw Julie's name go by. All of a sudden, I had Father just jump in just like that. So I'm like, okay, need to pay attention. So I'm still waiting to see if Josanne Hewitt or Jaleesa Caitlin, if either of you guys are still here, let me know. Okay, because otherwise I'll give a couple more minutes here and then I will bypass and we'll go on to somebody else, right? Bear with me. I'm just making some notes here. See where Spirit's going to take me tonight. Okay. Jump back down to the bottom here, see if anyone's coming back. They're not coming back, but letting me know they're here. Okay. So, I'm not getting a response for those ones. Katie Higgins. Katie Higgins, let me know if you have a question or if you would like to make a connection. And connection is for me, our loved ones on the other side, and I can connect with animals as well. I do both. Because, of course, they have a soul as well, and a lot of times our fur babies are just as important to us as anyone else. Beverly, yes, I can see you. I know sometimes the comments are slow coming through because this is a program called Melon, and it kind of connects in with Facebook. And I know sometimes there's some issues with getting all the comments through, and that's why I just kind of go, okay, send me, little emoticons or whatever, because then I can kind of keep up there too, right? Okay. So, Katie, you're looking for connection with your grandmother, your nanny. Okay, give me just a second here. So with your grandmother, again, a bit of a stubborn personality, but I get a really fun-loving type of personality as well. They show me the kitchen. The kitchen represents someone who likes to cook or bake. It also represents family being very, very important. So I think she was a pretty good cook because it makes me feel like when you came into the house, she was always trying to feed you. Right? That make a little bit of sense, Katie? Again, I get illness with her. She wasn't a complainer. She wasn't someone that, you know, if you were asked how she's feeling and she'd be like, oh, I'm all right. Right. So definitely not a complainer at all from what I get from her. Was there something specific that you were looking for? And I see I have my first little troll. So give me just a second here, guys, as I lovingly, as you put it, boot their butt. Reports. No, I want to delete them out. Just give me just a second here. Trying to anyway. Sorry, guys. I just love the trolls. They drive me insane. And for some reason, it's only letting me... Oh, I know what it is. Bear with me here just for 1 second, guys. Because it's very annoying when I get what I call trolls in. And I'm going to take a second and I'm going to just delete them. Or boot them, sorry. There we go. So now they're banned. Sorry, guys. That drives me crazy. To me, it's just so not cool. So let me wade through all the crap now. They've just spammed my whole chat comments, and now I gotta find out where I was. Okay, so Katie Higgins. I know we were talking about your grandmother. I kind of have the idea that there's something more specific that you wanted to know about. We had a lot of family dinners here. Yeah. When I was talking about seeing that kitchen and that family connection, you know, like I said, that was how she showed love. It really, really was. So having those time frames was very important to her. And I think it was important to the family as well. Like those were special times, right? Okay, Katie, I see that you're saying you're having a lot of health issues and would love if she has any advice. And usually for those types of questions, I recognize you're looking for information from your grandmother, but I typically go to higher guides to that or for that because it just comes from a different place. They're very much more direct. And as spirit, we can have our own biases. Not that a health concern would be a bias, but it's kind of the way I work. Okay. I know we can get better information that way. Katie, they're showing me just a lot of stress, anxiety. You have a hard time shutting off. You have a hard time letting go. Are you having some stomach issues as well? Sorry, guys, I'm trying to catch up here. And hi, David. Nice to see you. I mean, the first thing I'm getting is stop worrying too much. So that, if you will, mental capacity, you go to that place right away of fear, right? And we want to be very aware what we put our energy into, okay? Because they were showing me stomach issues and it's almost down into the intestinal tract as well. And it almost feels like multiple testing. They're still trying to diagnose exactly kind of what's going on. I don't think they have it all to a T yet, if you understand what I mean by that. Okay. Have they done any sort of allergy testing? Because it almost makes me feel like they're showing me like a dietary issues, right? So when I think of stuff like that, it can be like, what's the word I'm looking for? Give me 1 sec. Basically certain intolerances to food, like when you think about your wheat, your dairy and things like that, right? So look at that because they show me that it almost feels like there's an an allergy aspect of food that you're consuming. And that's why it's almost like the stuff for the stomach and stuff comes and goes too. It's not always a steady, constant thing, which is even more annoying because trying to diagnose it makes it difficult. So I don't know if you've done any of this, but be aware of what you're consuming. So you can think of almost like a food diary, right? Really keep note of that. Yeah, well, Katie, it wouldn't surprise me talking about weight loss when they're showing me issues with stomach and intestines, right? Not pulling in nutrients the way it needs to. But like I said, I keep getting food intolerances. That's what they keep telling me. Okay. So, being very blunt, stop worrying about cancer because for some reason you keep going into that fear of dis-ease. Okay. Hello, Marlene. Hey, Jenna. Need to book a session soon. Hope all is well. You know where to find me. And you know what? Right now, I had a Valentine's special for this month. If you book online through my website, you get 10% off whatever session you want to have. And it's good. You have to kind of book it in before the end of the month. But it's there if you're interested. Just reach out. So, Katie, I see you talk about 100%. So I feel like it's an ongoing annoyance. I do feel like it will get resolved, but it feels like you have to also be a party taking place in that. So like I said, be aware of the food, make notes, notice how your system is reacting to certain things, begin to pull it out of the diet, and then you'll start to see more balance, right? Because I think when we think of intolerances, things that sometimes we can eat stuff where we don't even realize that something we have issues with is in there, right? So that journal will really help you say, okay, I can have this, I can't have that. I noticed when I had this happened, right? So then you can create a better balance for you, okay? Angela, I do. You can find them through my website. You were asking about whether I still do email questions. Yep, I do. I receive them, I ground, I channel it off, I record it, and then I just send you the little MP3 recording. Okay, not a problem. Hello, Bonnie. In case I did or didn't say hello. Katie, did that help a little bit? I mean, the biggest thing that the guides are saying is stop worrying because you're continuing to feed an energy and it's just creating more information. Yeah, and I see that you were just told to write a journal. So medically speaking, somebody already told you to start keeping track of that? And if so, good, then you've got your validation. Spirit's telling you the same thing, right? Because I get it's more than one thing too, and that's why the journal is so important. It isn't just a specific stay away from weight and we're done, right? It makes me feel like there's multiple intolerances there. So doing that journal is important, that food journal. Okay? Yeah. So we talk about anxiety and stress, if you will. What I would do, look on YouTube and look up something called HRV breathing. HRV breathing. And that's something called heart rate variance. And it's simply breath work. So what it does is, you breathe in, hold it at the top, and then you breathe out. And actually, if you want to hold on, I can probably find it right here for you and put the link into the comments to the ones that I do. And I would suggest that you give it a try. Didn't know if you hear that. So let me see. So I just posted a link to YouTube, okay? And as I said, that's something called HRV breathing. It's about 10 minutes long. I would highly recommend that you take some time and you do this. If you can do this even just once a day. If you have issues sleeping, which they tell me you do because they show me flip, 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 flip. You toss and turn. That breath work will help you to relax. And what it does is it brings your body back into sync. Okay. So try it out. Try the breath works. And Katie, I was saying too, if you're interested in learning more stuff, I mean, check on my Facebook page. I'll have a link to I Am Divine. And that is our other page where we're really going to be doing a lot of different things. So you can always jump on over there too. Okay. Awesome. 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 Awesome sauce. Love it. Hello to anyone I may not have said hello to. Jennifer Doyle. Are you still here, Jennifer? And hello, Erin. And anyone else, you know, if you're interested in doing some breath work, if you have issues falling asleep, if you find you're almost in that state of, I don't say panic attack, but just hard time slowing down, try that HRV breathing. It really, really does help. Okay. Well, any meditation helps. Sorry, I'm chuckling because all of a sudden I saw your name, Jennifer, and then I saw, hi, yes, I am. And the guy just told me she's so excited. So that's why I chuckled. I thought it was funny. Jennifer, did you want to ask a question or have a connection? You got some fur babies on the other side too, huh? Yeah, Marlene, were you talking about the YouTube that I just posted for the HRV breathing? Definitely check it out. I think you're already on my, I think I Am Divine, aren't you? I think you just joined recently. Hello, Selena. Yeah, Jennifer, let me know what your question is or what connection you would like. She's laughing. UES. Now you really got me confused, Marlene. Okay. So Jennifer, when you're saying I'm wondering about your father, so are you asking about connection to your father on the other side? Marlene, the link that I sent is called HRV. Let me write that down here. I'll post it in the comments. HRV breathing, and that was the YouTube link, right? If you're looking for our I Am Divine page, I'll post that up here too if you like. And this is for our I Am Divine. Okay. I'm just waiting for the comment from Jennifer here. Okay, so Dad's on the other side. You'd like to connect with him. So give me a second here. So Dad was stubborn as well. This would not have been his cup of tea at all either, because when I start keying into him, I get someone who's kind of like arms of the chest like this, and I get someone rolling their eyes. And I'm like, oh, you didn't really believe in this when you were on this side. So those are kind of some telltale things, right? And it looks like we have another troll, which drive me insane. I'm going to boot these ones out too. Ben, bye-bye. So I always keep my phone here now too, because then I can take them out right away. Awesome. You're welcome, Marlene. I'm just waiting for Jennifer. Just get some confirmations. Okay, Dad. As I said, I get a sense of humor. He feels like he'd be very mischievous too. Extremely stubborn, and they're giving me the image of a mule, if you will. So when he got his teeth into something, all four legs bearing down, you'd be like having the rope on the other side trying to lead him on, and it'd be like he's not having any part of it. So that sense of stubbornness was really, really, really strong in him, right? It feels like he had illness too before he passed. So whether it was diagnosed or undiagnosed, because it makes me feel like recognizing situations in his body but not doing anything about it. So he probably didn't like doctors either. Right. I'm just waiting for comments to pop back up. For some reason, tonight seems to be really slow on the lines. There we go. So Jennifer saying that makes sense. Awesome. Did you not really get the opportunity to have the goodbye of what you really would have liked, if that makes any sense? So it can represent not being able to say what you need to say. It can also represent, for instance, your dad being in a state that he was not able to communicate prior to passing. Because I just get this sense of like, well, I keep hearing like, really didn't get to say goodbye properly is what I hear. And that could be from his perspective as well. Do you understand that? Hopefully you do anyway. Good. So was there something you kind of wanted to know from Dad? Okay. You're still holding on to emotion to do with Dad too. Do you understand what I mean by that without trying to kind of go down into the detail of it? Because it makes me feel like sometimes you guys didn't always see eye to eye. And with him being so stubborn, it's my way or the highway. Like he always had this kind of, I don't say tunnel vision, but that stubbornness sometimes led him down into paths and places where you kind of look at him and go, who the heck is that? Okay. You need to do some healing to do with your dad when you're ready to do it. Okay. More about choices that were made after his passing. And very much. So were you talking about choices like to do with the state or with other individuals? Like, did you want to ask anything specific about what that is from him? And I'm asking you this question, and what I hear back is he goes, basically, they knew my wishes. You knew what he wanted, right? But I don't think everyone had the same intentions. So somebody's a bit of a drama queen in there. And it was all about them versus him. Do you understand that? I said, I don't know why this is acting so slow tonight, but it is. Okay. So I see you saying, that makes sense. Perfect. Like I said, sometimes when things are a little bit more, if you will, personal, I keep it at a level here during group and don't go into the specifics. Because normally, like I said, the person knows exactly what is going on. When I do my one-on-ones, it's no holds barred. If something has to be said, it's going to be said. Right. But I also recognize that sometimes things are private. So when I do group, I also try and keep a line there. Okay. Okay. And as I said, okay, he's telling me to, he goes, I just want to tell her how much I love her. Because it's almost like he feels he could have said it more. I don't get that you didn't know that, right? But he feels like he could have said it more and expressed it more. So he's sending a lot of love through the lines to you right now too. Okay. Do you have a son as well? Hello, Alicia from Dominican Republic. Oh, I know you're watching the Dominican. Lucky girl having a vacation. I'm jealous, especially when it seems like we got some snow coming in and some cold temperatures. I think I saw by Saturday night, overnight, it's going to feel like minus 28 again. Jealous. And I see you saying no, Jennifer, but I'm not quite sure what that reference was to. So sometimes it's hard because I'll say some other stuff and I'm waiting for, that's the only thing with some of the delay in the system. Okay, thank you. Now I know. Do you have a nephew or anything? Because he was showing me being around a male. And I don't get like a young male. It makes me feel like teenager. Well, mid-teens, late teens. So if it means something to you, just maybe let them know. It just feels like they're struggling a little bit, and it feels like dad's around them a little bit. Okay. Alicia, I'm not excited for it either. Not at all. So hopefully that's helped just a little bit. Grace, is it Langiel? My apologies if I don't pronounce it appropriately. Grace, I'm looking for Grace. And I will write it here just in case. Langiele. Okay, so I see your comment. No, but they basically adopted a grandchild early teens. Okay, so that would be who they're referring to then, okay? So he seems to be around them a bit. So there's just, it feels like there's a bit of concern. Okay. And it can represent that they're just feeling stuck on their path. It could be they're having a challenge right now. When spirit shows me being around somebody in the physical aspect here, it typically represents that they're concerned around them. There's something going on and they're trying to support them. Okay. Good, good, good. I'm glad I was able to confirm some things for you. Okay. Awesome to hear that. Hello, Sheila. So I'm just waiting to see if Grace is still here. And then Tracy, hang in there because I have you after Grace. If Grace doesn't show, if she's already left. Sometimes staying power isn't always in place. You know, you're kind of scrolling through. It's like, oh, what's this? Here we go. Okay, I'm bored now. Making a joke, but yeah, and you know, guys, if you are really desiring to connect with the loved one on the other side, you're missing them, I do one-on-one, I do, privates, I do it in person, over the phone, over Zoom. For me, it doesn't matter because I listen to the guides. So yeah, if you want to book a private session, just reach out. You can reach me through Messenger. You can drop me an email. You can go to my website. It's got information on all the different things that I do because readings is only one part of what I do. I'm actually a clinical hypnotist. I'm an aromatherapist. I do aromatherapy massage. I am a spiritual coach, Reiki master. I do all sorts of different things. The way I look at it is the more tools I have in my toolbox, the more ways that I can assist people. Okay. So I'm not getting anything from Grace. So Tracy, you've been patient. You're sending me all sorts of hearts and everything else. God love you. So let me know, Tracy, if there is somebody you would like to connect with or if you would like to ask a question, because I don't just do mediumship. The guides will answer any types of questions about things that are going on, right? Alicia, are you on the I'm Divine? Our new one? Which one would you prefer, Tracy? I see you're talking about boyfriend or uncle. And again, I would take it they're on the other side. Sorry, Tracy Wares. Thanks for asking, Tracy Atkins. Hey, no problem. So when I say Tracy now, I'm talking to Tracy Wares, just so we don't confuse anything. Tracy, did one of them play guitar? And I just want to ask the question because as soon as I was kind of going back and forth between the two, I saw this guitar and I'm like, okay, like acoustic guitar. Does that mean anything to you? I want to go there first before I try and key into either one. Okay. I'll have to figure out what that represents. Of course, guitar is music. It can represent ways that they communicate is through music as well, or a favorite song. Did either of them like country music? I don't think the boyfriend probably did, but just to ask that question. I take it the no was still back on the guitar aspect, so. So when we talk about boyfriend, he feels like he departed fairly quickly. Okay. Because I get the sense of being here one minute, gone the next. He was quite expressive with his voice too. How do I put that? He could have colorful language sometimes. right? Um, it almost feels from a personality perspective too, he was either really high or really low. I don't get a lot of what I call middle ground as far as emotions go. Do you understand what I mean by that? Things seem to be slowing again on my comments. And okay, there's the yes. And that's why I try not to get too far ahead, because I can give you like 3 or 4 or 5 different things. And then I'm like, oh, well, here's the yes. Oh, where did that go? Yeah. Because I just get this, I don't say bipolar, because I don't necessarily feel he was bipolar, but I mean, it's almost like he could shift on a dime. And I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that tongue. Let me rephrase that. Meaning, if he was really angry at you, he could really kind of lash out verbally. And I'm not necessarily saying at you, but in general. Right. And that sense of departure very, very quickly. Tracy, was there something specific you wanted to know from him? Because it just makes me feel at times that the relationship could be a little, I don't know what the word I want to use. The guides give me this, and whenever I get this represents butting of heads, right? So it makes me feel like, again, even when in the relationship, it's like it's really high or it's down. So I think that sometimes coming into that place of seeing eye to eye was not always the easiest. Alicia, I was asking you if you had joined my I Am Divine. That's all. Tracy, sometimes I can get names, other times I can't. That's not necessarily my forte, and Spirit doesn't always go, here you go, here's my name. And it's funny because I was training under Carmel Joy Baird. She used to have the show My Mom's a Medium out of Edmonton. And I asked her once, I said, why is it that names can be so difficult to get? And what she said back to me, she goes, show me a symbol for your name. And I kind of went, I can understand that, right? So sometimes getting names is not that easy. I get more personality, the personality traits, the emotional traits, and usually, things of how they pass, situations going on in their life. I mean, it depends. Sometimes I'll get a name, but if you were to say, oh, tell me his name, right now, for me, it doesn't work that way. And you probably find that a lot of psychics don't always get names, but if you listen, you'll know exactly who it is. I usually get, oh, it's mom, it's dad, it's grandma, it's whatever, right? Just to let you know. Okay. Every now and then they surprise me and they'll throw something out, but yeah. That makes some sense. So is there something specific you're looking for from him, Tracy? Because it just makes me feel like the relationship was rocky at times. I just get the sense of going back and forth and arguing. He could be very loving too. He'd be right there trying to support, but then it's almost like, it's like they show me like a coin flipping. You don't know what face you're going to get. And this is not judgment in any way, shape, or form, not judgment at all. But I think he struggled emotionally. And I think because of those struggles at times, he lashed out at people. That makes sense a little bit. Or is there something specific you want to know from him too? Then I can key into that a little bit. I don't know. He's showing me, like I said, a lot of emotion. So I'm by no means saying like he was a living hell, because that's not true either, right? But I think sometimes being hard-headed, and he kind of liked things his way. Okay. Even with anything that was going on, what he's telling me is, you never doubted that he loved you, because that's the message he's bringing forward more than anything. I just heard, tell her that I love her. Right. And then again, I hear, even though I didn't always deserve her. So it really makes me feel like, at least from his perspective, he feels like he could have been more present in the relationship, and he could have seen it move to a different level, right? Because he seems to be holding some emotion around there, because he keeps telling me like he feels that you deserve someone better. So that seems to be a lot of self stuff coming from him, where he was struggling emotionally some. I'm not sure if that helps or not. I asked the question, the guide says no, she doesn't understand it. That's okay. Right? Well, for some reason, my program has been acting up and down, and I'm not getting my comments the way I need to. I know there's a bit of a storm coming in. Maybe that has a little something to do with it as well. I've been running for about my hour now, so I'm going to be departing fairly quickly. Just a quick note to you guys. Like I said, the new Facebook page, I'm teamed up with another psychic medium. Was in the same spiritual coaching program and the Science of Mind practitioner training that we've been doing for the past 2 years. And we're teaming up because Spirit has kind of said, you know what, we need to come together. It's basically called I'm Divine, Mastering Your Intuition, right? So we're helping people understand their own intuition, how they can develop it, how they can open up. So if you're interested in anything like that, I believe I do still have it pinned to my page towards the top. I've been making regular posts on it. But if you go to the Facebook, facebook.com and then your / I am a divine badass, that'll take you to it as well. But if you search for I am divine, you can find it. Tomorrow we'll be going live at 2 o'clock AST, 1 o'clock in the afternoon EST, and we're going to do what I call Ask Me Anything. So it would be an opportunity to jump on and ask any types of questions. I know we had a post on it today, and it was saying, hey, what types of things do you want to know about? And one of the things that came up was what we call synchronicity in numbers. I'm seeing the 333 and the 1111 and the 777, whatever those numbers are. So that's one of the things we'll be talking about then too. So if you're interested, jump over the page. It's a private page. So you will have to be approved, but not a problem. And that's what we want, is a private community where people feel at ease to share. Tanya, yeah, I noticed you there. I hope you've been enjoying it. It's been so much fun. Yeah. Kitty, you are very, very welcome. Right. I mean, I find on here can usually do it. I find that when those, if you will, trolls come on, it throws me out of the energy, because they drive me crazy. Because with what I do is I need to stay in a certain space, because I'm what's called a semi-conscious trance channel. So I have to stay in a certain area for me to hear my guides in a specific way. So I find that sometimes when those trolls start jumping in, it totally throws me out. And I said for Marlene, Tanya, those of you that are going to be showing up tomorrow at the I'm Divine, that's one thing I said to Kim when we did our live reading there a couple of weeks ago. I said, it's so nice to be in a private space where I don't have to worry about trolls. And who knows, I may have to try and make this one being a little more private too, but for now I'm going to keep it open. But yeah. So you know what? I go live once a month. I will always have the event posted on my website too. So that's paulahunter.ca. And yeah, I have everything there. So if you want to drop in on the next one, all you need to do is check it out there, and I'll be posting it probably by Sunday with the next month's date's going to be okay. Tanya, you know what? I love the private site as well. Yeah, with the other the other Facebook page that I posted earlier, the I Am Divine. Yes, it's an Ask Me Anything. It'll be a live type of thing like this. And it's literally that. We're going to have conversations. I mean, Kim's got 15 or plus years experience as a psychic medium as well. So yeah, if you want to jump over there, if you want to do some learning, if you want to step into your divinity, that would be the place to go. Okay. Julie, you are very, very, very welcome. I really had the sense that there's been a lot of emotion around Dad. You've been thinking about Dad a lot. And that was one of the reasons why, as soon as you kind of jumped in like that, I'm like, oh, she really needs this right now. But we know how Spirit works, right? All right, guys, I am going to take off. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Okay. Much, much love to you guys. Take care.